Let's design the Galactic line. This is the week where I'm going to start to work on some of the most complicated parts of the game. And what are those? Well, they're the Sims parts of the game. Now, the reason they're difficult is because it requires interiors, furniture, characters, hair, clothes, lifestyles, living, dying, breathing, eating, all that sort of complicated stuff. Whew. Initially, I planned to maybe implement stats and turn it into kind of a spreadsheety thing and try and get some game in there. But that wasn't feeling like it had much grip to it. It didn't really feel very fun. So I can make a game, but a boring game would be worse than not making a game. So I started to think maybe I should mock up the interiors. So I created some mock-up interiors like this. And technically speaking, they work fine. You can see them through the whole of the ship. You can click on them. But they're just empty space. They don't have anything in them. You can't do anything with them. And wandering around in them in first person really reveals that they are definitely placeholder content. There's nothing amazing about this sort of content at all. In order to make it viable for first person mode, I would have to radically increase the quality of the content, which would radically increase the amount of time it takes. And in the end, you're not going to see that close-up content in the real game very much. So why would I go to so much effort to create something that I really couldn't use for another year? I think that the best approach is to create the characters next. Now, this is a character just for scale. It's a low poly character from MakeHuman. But the idea is that if I create the characters, I can get away with abstracting the interiors for another couple of months. You know what I'm talking about, right? When you get the character, they don't have a background, they're just kind of standing on empty space all the time. Or it's just a portrait or something similar. That's what I'm thinking for now. I'm thinking about creating a character creation kit, or a bunch of characters, that exist in empty space and pop up and let you interact with them, select what they're doing and determine what their current missions are and what their mood is and all that stuff. And of course, play with various sliders. The upside of that is that I can actually do that. That's not a too difficult thing to do. The downside is, of course, it's still staying away from a game. It's another tech demo on another system for the game. And these tech demos aren't really clicking together yet, so it's still not very interesting. However, I think this is the right approach, and it's what I'm going to take next. What got me really thinking about this is the game isn't really supposed to be about these pop-up menus. The pop-up menus that I currently display are really not what I want the game to look like in the end. And I kind of thought that maybe Unity would boot... Oh, there we are. Thank you. This is not how I want you to interact with the crew members. What I'd like you to do is zoom in on the crew member and either see them where they are, or in this case, see them against a black backdrop, and have like a feeling like you're with them. You're not just managing some magic piece of paper. You have people and you have crew, and I think that that's a critical part of this kind of game. You wouldn't feel like The Sims were very impressive or interesting if they were just a name and a list of needs. So I think that my next best step is to create some people and start to create a kind of interaction mechanic for viewing people and seeing what they're like and assigning them various things and hearing what they have to say and all that sort of stuff. Could be a while before it's ready. I'm not entirely sure that I will have a prototype ready for you on Saturday this week, but let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I'm going to be doing some pretty tricky stuff. All of the VR stuff I was going to show you, I'm going to be using here. I'm also going to be using some custom shaders that do some pretty creepy things, and some other stuff. All of it will be either CC0 or free to distribute or close to that. So when you get a mod version of the game, you'll be able to open it up in Unity and play around with it yourself, create your own characters and species and stuff. Of course, you'll also be able to create characters in the game world using sliders. It should be fun, but I'm not going to make videos about all of it because then I'll never finish. It takes a lot longer to program with videos than without, especially if you do something wrong and you have to scrap like 8 videos, which of course has never happened to me. So I'll keep you posted, and if you're interested, let me know what you think. If you know of a CC0 model you'd prefer to make human, let me know. In the long run, I do plan to use a lot of copyrighted models, but I have to give a CC0 model as a baseline so that it can be distributed as a project and I don't get in trouble for that. Thank you.